All right, today we're going to tackle a huge question, one that comes straight from Yuval Noah Harari's incredible book, Sapiens. We're going to unpack the single greatest secret to our species' success, and trust me, it's a secret that explains pretty much everything about the world we live in today.
I mean, it's a real mystery when you stop and think about it. We weren't the strongest, definitely not the fastest, or the biggest. So how did we, Homo sapiens, end up running the entire show? Well, to find the answer, we have to go way, way back. You can just forget that image of the mighty spear-wielding caveman. For millions of years, this was us, hiding, scavenging, and pretty much constantly looking over our shoulders. We were stuck right in the middle of the food chain, and nowhere near the top.
So yeah, our story, it doesn't exactly start with a bang. For the vast majority of our existence, we were just another animal trying not to get eaten in a world that, frankly, didn't care about us at all.
Just let that sink in. 2 million years. We were hunting little creatures, gathering whatever plants we could find, all while being hunted ourselves by bigger, scarier predators. We were so far on the sidelines that our impact on the environment was less than a firefly's. We were, well, insignificant. So what changed? What was the big game changer? Now, most people point to a few obvious advantages we had. But as we're about to see, these common explanations, they don't really tell the whole story.
Okay, suspect number one, our massive brain. Seems like a no-brainer, right? More intelligence has got to be better. And it's true, our brains are huge energy hogs. An ape's brain sips about 8% of its resting energy. Ours demands a whopping 25%.
But here's the catch. From millions of years, that big brain was a huge evolutionary gamble with very little to show for it. It drained our energy, it made our muscles weaker, and it sure didn't stop a chimpanzee from being able to absolutely tear one of our ancestors apart. So yeah, it wasn't the silver bullet.
All right, so what about our other tricks? We mastered stone tools, we figured out how to control fire. And look, these were huge deals. They gave us new ways to get food, to stay warm, and maybe, just maybe, scare off a lion every now and then.
And yet, even with sharp rocks and blazing fires, we still didn't leap to the top. The timeline is undeniable here. We had this tech for hundreds of thousands of years, and we were still firmly stuck in the middle. So, something else must have happened, something big. And this brings us to the moment where everything, and I mean everything, changed. After millions of years of just hanging around, something suddenly lit the fuse of human domination.
Just look at the sheer scale of time here. Our species, Homo sapiens, was on the planet for over 100,000 years without doing anything that special. We were just there. And then, around 70,000 years ago, boom, the cognitive revolution hits.
In what is basically a geological blink of an eye, we exploded out of Africa. We spread across every single continent, we crossed open oceans, and in the process, every other human species, like the Neanderthals, they just vanished. We were the last ones standing. This wasn't some slow, gradual change. This was a blip.
So what was it? What was this secret weapon that we suddenly had? It wasn't a bigger brain or a sharper tool. No, it was something entirely new.
The leading theory is that some kind of chance genetic mutation completely rewired our brains. It wasn't about size, it was about the organization, the wiring, and this new wiring gave us a completely new way to communicate, a new kind of language. Now this right here is the absolute core of the idea. See, other animals can communicate about reality. A monkey can shout, "Careful, a lion," and everyone gets it. But only sapiens could say something like, "The lion is the guardian spirit of our tribe." One is about what's real and right in front of you. The other is about what's only in your imagination.
And that is the key. Our superpower is fiction. It's the ability to talk about things that don't physically exist. Legends, myths, gods, spirits. This ability to create and, more importantly, believe in shared stories changed everything. But how is that so powerful?
To really get a grip on how incredibly powerful this is, let's look at a modern example that Harari uses brilliantly in the book, A Simple Car Company.
So you've got the Peugeot company. It's a massive global operation with hundreds of thousands of employees. But what is Peugeot? Can you touch it? Can you point to it? Seriously, think about it. If you junked every single Peugeot car on the planet, the company would still exist. If you tore down all the factories and fired every employee, the company could rebuild. It's not any one of its physical parts.
The answer is that Peugeot is a legal fiction. It's a story, an imagined reality that only exists because millions of us, lawyers, customers, employees, you, me, all agree to believe in this story. It's a powerful, powerful myth.
And that right there shows you the power of fiction. You could never get 200,000 chimpanzees to work together on a project. It's impossible, but because humans share a belief in the story of Peugeot, millions of total strangers can cooperate flexibly and effectively to build and sell a car.
Once you see this superpower, you start seeing it absolutely everywhere. Our entire world, our whole civilization, is built on top of these imagined realities.
Nations? They're not natural features of the Earth. They are stories we tell about shared identity. Money? It's really just colorful paper that we've all agreed has value. And things like laws, justice, human rights, these are incredibly powerful and vital concepts, but they exist only in our collective imagination. This stuff is the mythical glue that holds our complex societies together.
So here's the bottom line. Our ability to cooperate on a massive scale, the thing that makes us unique, is completely rooted in our capacity for shared fiction. It's what took us from being insignificant apes to being the rulers of the planet. And it leaves us with a really profound question. Since we're the ones writing these stories, what kind of world do we want to imagine into existence next?